Peace be upon you all. Throughout our long history as humans on Earth, we've always had a strong desire to reach the top. We managed to identify Mount Everest as the highest point on the planet. Thousands have climbed the mountain, reached the summit of the world, and took that iconic photo. But ironically, while we were all looking up, there was another world right beneath our feet, completely unknown. A world far harder to reach than Everest, a world fewer people have set foot in than those who've gone to space. I'm talking about the Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench is a V-shaped depression in the western Pacific Ocean near the Mariana Islands. The distance from the surface to its deepest point is about 11 kilometers, an absolutely terrifying number. If we took Mount Everest and sank it inside the trench, it would disappear completely, and there would still be 2 kilometers of water above it. For decades, humanity believed it was impossible for the ocean to reach such depths, and impossible for any life to survive the extreme pressure and darkness. But the information that came out of the trench shattered everything we believed. Welcome. And before we start, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you get our videos first. The story begins in 1872, when the British research ship HMS Challenger set sail on a 4-year scientific expedition. It traveled 112,000 kilometers, about a third of the distance from Earth to the Moon, a number that shows just how serious and determined this mission was. But back then, technology was nothing like today. No digital screens, no satellites mapping the seafloor. Everything was done manually. The crew used extremely long ropes marked to calculate depth. At the end of each rope was a metal weight to sink it to the seafloor. Their system was simple. Every 225 kilometers, they stopped the ship, threw the rope in, and let the weight pull it down until it hit the bottom, where the tension suddenly stopped. That's how they knew they'd reached the seafloor, and by reading the marks on the rope, they measured the depth. Despite the simplicity of their tools, the expedition paved the way for one of the biggest discoveries in Earth science history. The crew measured depths routinely across the ocean until they reached a point in the western Pacific where routine was shattered. A normal measurement turned into a historic moment that changed our scientific understanding. When the ship reached the area near the Mariana Islands, the crew prepared the equipment as usual. They stopped the ship, threw the rope, and watched it sink. Normally, the rope descended a certain distance, then stopped as soon as the weight hit bottom. But this time, it just kept going. And going. And going. Hundreds of meters, thousands, and the weight was still descending. Imagine the shock of the crew, watching the rope being swallowed by the ocean. It kept descending until it reached 8,000 meters, then finally, the weight hit the seafloor. No one at the time believed the ocean could be that deep. Scientists became obsessed. Questions poured in. What is this place? How did it form? Is it just a strange hole? And the biggest question of all, is there life down there? And if so, what does it look like? It couldn't be normal creatures. Nothing could survive such pressure and complete darkness. But they couldn't answer anything. The technology just wasn't ready. All they could do was record the depth, marking the beginning of modern oceanography. After this astonishing discovery, the questions remained unanswered for 75 years, until scientists returned in 1951. The British research ship came back, but this time armed with advanced equipment and sonar technology capable of mapping the seafloor. And the results revealed the true nature of the trench. Sonar showed that the hole they found earlier was actually part of a massive trench, a huge crack in Earth's crust, 2,550 kilometers long and 69 kilometers wide. And the 8,000-meter depth they measured earlier wasn't even the deepest point. The southern end of the trench drops even further, a hole within a hole, plunging an additional 3,000 meters. This is the deepest point on Earth. They named it Challenger Deep, in honor of the ship that first discovered it. The new measurement confirmed a depth of 11 kilometers below sea level. But one question still remained: is there life down there? To answer that, we jump to 1958 and the Soviet research ship Vidyas. The Soviets were serious competitors, and they provided the first real glimpse into the biological environment of the deep. The ship discovered countless creatures living deeper than 7,000 meters. This shocked the scientific community, which believed the deep was deadly to all life. But Vityas found bacteria, invertebrates, and large, strange fish never seen before, creatures adapted to survive where light does not exist and pressure crushes bones. Scientists began to wonder, if life exists at 7,000 meters, why not at 11,000? After ships and sensors brought back data, the bold decision was made: humans had to go down themselves. But reaching the deepest point on Earth is thousands of times harder than climbing Everest. The real challenge is the pressure. Anyone descending would face over 1,000 times the atmospheric pressure of Earth. To put it simply, imagine standing with 50 Boeing airplanes stacked on top of you. That's what it's like down there. Despite this, in 1960, the bathyscaphe trees successfully carried 2 men into the trench: Swiss explorer Jacques Piccard and American Don Walsh. The descent took 5 hours through total darkness until the sub reached the 11-kilometer depth. The researchers spent only about 20 minutes down there, but it was enough to confirm life exists. They saw fish and strange creatures living normally, as if the pressure and darkness meant nothing. This proved that life could exist anywhere. Confirming the existence of deep life was huge, but there was a hidden detail revealed years later when Jacques Piccard's private notes came out. He recorded a strange observation. He saw a massive, cylindrical creature moving around the submarine. It wasn't just drifting randomly, it circled the trees as if it were observing it. Then, after about a minute, it disappeared without explanation. To this day, no one knows what Piccard saw. And if you think Piccard's mystery was the only scary thing, wait for what happened in 1985. The American ship Glomar Challenger was conducting studies in the trench using a deep ocean sensor. Suddenly, strange sounds began coming through the device, and the steel cables holding it started pulling violently. The force was so strong the steel nearly snapped. Something powerful, at more than 10,000 meters deep, was attacking the probe. The team tried pulling it up, but something underneath held it down. After 3 hours, they finally retrieved it and were shocked. The device had clear bite marks on it, as if from a giant creature. Some of the steel cables were actually cut. What kind of creature lives at that depth and has that kind of strength? The official explanation claimed the probe hit rocks, but the crew who saw the bite marks knew better. After 1985, and with widespread disbelief in the official report, some biologists proposed a wild theory. The creature responsible could only be the megalodon, an enormous prehistoric shark, reaching 22 meters long and weighing up to 50 tons. One of the most powerful predators in history, believed to have gone extinct 1.5 million years ago. But what happened in the trench made some ask, could the megalodon still be alive, hidden in the deep? The theory gained traction after another incident. A Japanese cargo ship near the trench was suddenly struck by a massive force on its side, flipping it over. The weather was calm, there were no rocks or reefs nearby, and no logical explanation ever surfaced. Many pointed again to the depths, and to the mysterious creature from the 1985 incident. Whether you believe in the megalodon or think it's just imagination, the truth is, strange deep-sea creatures absolutely exist. And don't forget, if you have an episode suggestion, leave it in the comments. Peace.